Things can be as simple as all on, all off, and that's what we did here, just because you can see now we've got a lot of pages. So I've got, I'm sorry, this is the one that I was thinking of downstairs. So it's just some different sections as we go through. It just kind of turns those lights off all the way down the row. So that's a lot to do to come up here and do all that. You know, hit 8, 9 different channels up on this one. So it's the whole floor that you can see down on that other section's another one. But so since that's a lot of channels and a lot of sliders to mess with, we've got an all-on scene that just does everything, and an all-off scene. So now say the people down here were working on something, and a class came up down there, and you can come through here and just turn on the ones you want. Turn on this section for the people that are working here, maybe the next section, and it'll stay like that. That's an override. Even though there's an aux sensor down there that should be turning those lights on, we've manually overridden it here at the switch. Now the one thing that we may want to do that I couldn't really think of how you would want it is you can name these sliders. It's pretty easy. We try to make them control just what you can see, so it's not you're not confused about, you know, this isn't doing anything, it's shutting lights off on people down. Yeah.
Are those like emergency or easement lightings for the ones that are still on?
Those, yes, they are emergency. They have to get checked out. We're still working on programming
They'll be off.
stuff, and they should shut down once we get through them.
So once you go in here and override, after a period of time, does it fall back to its regular program?
It will. So after, well, and it's kind of always on its regular programming. So I understand what you're saying though. So if we did that, if we left half these lights on, half of them off,
Yes.
if everybody left, they'd all shut off, and when you came back, they'd kick back on, just
Back
like
to the regular program.
right. So whatever you leave it as after the aux sensor cycles the lights off,
Sure.
should kick back on to everything. Yeah. So that was that might kind of get you all's juices working about what any scenes that you want or anything, just to give you an idea how those work. Like I said, a lot of these areas are it's nice to have the flexibility to shut some of the lights off in different areas. But I think during normal operation, and you know, let me know if I'm wrong, but I would imagine these lights would be just on, and certainly down in the areas where there's it's just all books. You know, I don't see that being a lot different, but we can certainly do just about anything y'all would like as far as the scenes and the sliders go. We do have some other offices, kind of classrooms up here that I'll show you. We've got, I don't think we've seen any of these single pole switches yet. So this is a good example of an area that's going to be manual on. It's a classroom, so I mean people may be walking through here, but really it's not an open area. It's more of a private classroom. So when you walk in, you're going to have to hit the button to turn the lights on, and that's one switch leg, so that's one power pack, and then this other switch is programmed for the other power pack. And when you leave, the lights will turn off automatically. Now, like what Scott was saying downstairs, if we hit this button off, and now we walk out the room, it's going to stay like this. You're going to have to come back in and hit it on. So anywhere where there's automatic lights, if they hit the button off, they're going to stay off until you hit the button again. And that's just because if now we walk out the room, the sensor is going to turn the lights back on, right? So we tell it to turn off, and the lights stay off. And that's whether it's a manual on area or an auto on area. You hit the button off, it'll stay off until you hit the button on again.
Can we change that?
You can. It's Florida Building Code is why we do that. But I mean, if you have an area that you need to change, it's a setting, so it's definitely changeable. Yeah. You can make other areas. You know, if you have areas that people are constantly going into, the lights won't come on. They have a hard time finding the switch. You can absolutely make that. You can absolutely make that area an auto on. Or vice versa, if people are complaining about having to hit the button, we get that sometimes. Now this other open area here, when we were playing with those sliders and those scenes, it did this whole section here. This other area here has its own touchscreen you can see over there. And most of them make sense when you turn the corner to the room, the switch is right there. But it'll have the same thing, an all on, all off scene, and then sliders for each individual power pack that you have in there. Now, y'all might be looking at replacing power packs or switches. You know, somebody kicks in a switch or something. I recommend you give us a call. We can at least help you get the right part. There's a lot of these parts that are real similar, but they're different because of little numbers and letters and stuff. So if you don't have spares, or even if you have spares, give us a call. I mean, this is what we do. We talk to people all the time about jobs all over the place. So if you have any questions, just give us a call and say, hey, I think we have a bad power pack here, but I'm not sure. Could you help me troubleshoot it? We can almost always do that over the phone. Our office is here in St. Pete, so we're not terribly far away. I'm an SPC alumni, so I might come and do it just for y'all, you know,
Nice.
just for fun, you know. But it's not terribly difficult replacing the packs. There's about, depending on what kind of pack we have, if they're dimming or not, there's, what do you think, Louis, 4 or 5 wires on the
You should
non-dimming
have,
packs?
Yeah, it'll be a hot, a neutral, and a ground, and then 2 dimming.
And then your purple and gray. So
Right.
at the most, maybe 5 wires, and you can just replace them one for one at a time, turn the circuit off, and most of the boxes, I believe the boxes are marked for your circuit. So you can do that and just replace 1 wire at a time, make sure you're getting them right. And
And then plug in the data, of course.
right, so like we were saying, all these devices that we're talking about, the switches, the ceiling aux sensors, and the power packs are connected with Cat5, and that daisy chain is what we call it, goes back to the hub that goes back to the gateway or the brain. So we can see all these devices from the gateway, but we can do that because they're all connected with Cat5. So you'll notice on every device, on every InLight device, which is the brand of lighting controls here, there'll be 2 Cat5 ports. In every room, there's going to be a dead end with one device that just has one piece of Cat5 coming to it, and then the other end of that makes it back to the hub that eventually goes back to the brain. So what he's saying is just remember that not only do you have a line voltage connection there with those power packs, but also all these devices have your Cat5. So just make sure you plug your Cat5 back in. And then if there needs to be any programming, some of the power packs can be programmed with a little button on the side of it, but again, I recommend you give us a call. We can figure out what the best way to do that would be.
Is that a reset on the side?
There's a reset, and there's also some, it's like a lot of these low voltage switches and stuff now that there's like a press code way you can, you hit it 3 times and then hold it down and wait, and you can do some programming, but if it's going to be difficult, I'll just come up and help you all. Or if you all have a laptop, you're talking about maybe having a laptop or getting SensorView on the network, you can do it from there also, and it's easier to find. And what would happen if you, say, blew a power pack, some you got a surge come in somehow, let's just say a power pack blows. So if it's dead, the network won't be able to see it anymore. And when you go into SensorView, it'll pop up with something that says, I could see this device before and I can't now. So that's your opportunity to say, okay, well that's my bad device, and now we just need to go find it, swap it out, and when you swap it out, you go back into SensorView. And that's what I would do, or we can show you all how to do that also. So we did a SPC Midtown 2 year ago, and I haven't been back once to replace anything. So been happy about that. If y'all would like, we can do some SensorView training. Anybody's welcome to stick around for it, or if you guys have any other questions, I'm available for the rest of the day here. So whatever you guys want to do.